Welcome back to another episode of the HR Leaders Podcast, the show where we explore the future work with industry experts and HR executives from the world's leading global brands. Today, I'm joined by Nicolas Behbahani, who's the head of global people analytics and HR innovation at TechnipFMC. Welcome to the show, Nicolas. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Chris. It's a privilege to be with you.
I feel like I should have dressed up a bit more now.
No, because I'm in the office.
Yeah, I know you're looking super sharp today. Super sharp. I do. It's something I do miss about a good suit, to be honest. You know, when I used to work in the city, I used to have a huge collection of suits, and now since I started the company, I mean, I'm slacking off a little bit. So, as well. Before we jump in more, because tell everyone a little bit more about yourself, your background and journey to where we are today.
I'm Nicolas Behbahani, as you said. I'm in charge of people analytics and HR data in TechnipFMC. That is a leader of oil and gas company. We have more than 3,000 employees, and we are present in more than 40 countries. Maybe we can just talk about the people analytics definition. I know that many of your guests in people analytics that they explain what is it, people analytics in HR. So my department is in the HR function. Maybe people analytics is the practice of transforming the HR data to insights and show the add value to the HR and to the leadership team. People analytics should be the cutting edge of analytics and innovation. It's a research and development team. So it's something different from other HR, department, because we have the data scientists, we have the data analyst, we have reporting manager. So this is something maybe new in France, but in the global companies, international companies, it's something that exists since 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why I would like to introduce with people analytics in order to introduce your listener about what is people analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding my background, so I'm engineer. I'm engineer in data science. I have a mathematics background. I joined TechnipFMC near 3 years ago. And before that, I was working as a data scientist HR during 5 years and as a research and development in the research development department in the public administration. So I have a very strong background about data. I deal with data since now 8 years.
Wow.
So since I arrived, I have built the team. I have hired the data scientists, the data analyst. I have created all the dashboards. We need to create some dashboards to that. But also I'm passionate about artificial intelligence, as I said, and So I created before some algorithm about that. And I think the AI tool is really needed in the HR area.
People like to talk about AI and throw it out there. But can you give us a specific example of how you've used AI in HR and what was the challenge you was trying to solve and what was the result?
The AI is as I said, it's a research and development part, and they are engineers behind that. So it's not just to launch an AI tool really to tell, okay, I'm launching the AI tool in HR. We have each AI project should answer and business question.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have done for the past, because I'm really excited to share my knowledge and also to learn about other return experience. What we have launched, for example, we have AI tool for candidate screening. As you know, many countries, for example, India, for example, they are receiving many candidates, many CV per day or per month. So we have to use some tool. We can use some AI tool in order to select the best candidates. It was the HR question. And how we can answer it, maybe it should be with AI, to use a tool, to screen the CV that we are selecting. But keep in mind that all the projects, and for me, I believe that the engineers and the human have created AI, but the final decision should be human. We have experimented it just in the experimentation, and we found that many of the HR have a positive feedback from them. 80% they are said so wonderful tool, and it can help us to select the best candidates. But it was in the past, So AI can help the HR, but we have to have a department, for example, people analytics, to show them, to analyze the tool. It's very important.
How are you doing that, Nicolas, with your leader? How are you presenting the findings to your HR team? What software do you use? How is it presented? Because obviously it needs to tell a narrative and a story and be very easy to translate. I know that's been a challenge. How do you do that?
For that, we are in the beginning of the project, but as I am an engineer and I have a team that they have the skills for that, and they knows how the algorithm works, etc. We can, we can select some companies, because we have 27,000 HR companies and startups that they are working in the HR area. So to select one of them it's a challenge. So
how do you go about selecting one then?
So first of all, in the paper, so we can choose many of them. So we have to, because it's a black box, black box. All this AI is a black box for the HR leaders. Maybe it's a black box. So you have the features, but you don't know what is behind. What is important is what is behind them. So you have to select them. You have to set up meetings with them in order to understand how it works, how the tool works, to maybe challenge them.
What questions do you ask, Nicolas? Because I'm sure people listening right now is like, yeah, there's a new tool popping up every month. Let's be honest, in the space, it's rapidly growing. What are some of the questions when you sit down with a partner and you're assessing whether they're a good fit for you for the business? What are some of the questions that you ask those providers?
We are doing, before going to the very technical question, we are talking, okay, what is the add value of your tool based on your current tool that you are using? So many of the HR leaders, they are using also currently their job, the ATS and the current tool. So what is the add value can bring you this new tool? Okay, so they can explain you have these comparison candidates, for example. You have these maybe soft skills, maybe. So it's an example.
Of course.
So you have to first of all to ask them what is the add value. Add value, once it's listed, you have to go to the details. Okay, so which technology you are using to select the best candidates? Is it NLP algorithm? You are using the words? You are selecting only by words? What is the algorithm behind that? Because it's a black box, as I said, for you, for the HR leaders.
The algorithm itself could have bias built in.
Exactly.
So there's so many things you have to look into.
Exactly, and we have in some companies that they have experienced the bias. So we have to be very careful about that, and to answer all of these questions before each interview, before each select process. You have to have many questions already prepared, and to submit to them in order to have their feedback. Once it's done, once you are sure that this tool is not 100% that is matching your expectation, but many of them, you have to experiment. I'm like Gustavo in your podcast that they said, but you have to experiment, please experiment the tool AI, because it's the future. We cannot stop that. There are many of the HR.
We cannot stop the AI. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. So you cannot stop that. You cannot say, no, I don't want AI in my organization.
Should we end the show there, Nicolas, and to say we cannot stop AI?
Maybe yes, we cannot stop. But the best way is to adopt AI and to adopt analytics. It's like analytics in the HR function. This is the adoption of analytics. It's better to adopt something in order to force you to adopt,
Where do companies start?
It depends on your business question. If you're
So start with a business question, then that's the first piece of advice. What challenge are you trying to solve? So start there, and you may not even need AI. So
yeah, exactly. What is the business question that you would like to answer? The first thing is the business question. If it's in onboarding, if it's your talent, if it's in your learning, because we have, many of the trends. When I look at the trends, there are many AI platforms that they can put all the data in one platform. So it depends on which part of your journey, HR journey, you need AI. And maybe you don't need.
Is this the first time you built a people analytics team? Because for many leaders that I'm working with, it's their first time. What advice would you give in terms of, not everyone needs a team straight away in order to do people analytics effectively, right? For misconception there. I know some companies that have 2 people in their people analytics function and they're doing incredible work as well. What were some of the lessons that you learned that you can share with people? What to do, maybe what not to do, maybe some mistakes that you made that you think that people can benefit from?
Yes, people analytics is something new. You don't need, because I have many questions in my LinkedIn. They said, okay, I have just one person that is in charge of people. Is it enough? Can I achieve all the, HR people analytics question? Yes, you can start only with 1, with 2 people. In my organization, I'm managing the middle size. I have a middle size team. I have the chance to have employees with the good level of skills.
What was the first hire you made, Nicolas? Sorry to interrupt you. What was the first hire you made?
When you show to the leadership, when you show to the HR, what is the add value, what is the report, when you are creating some amazing dashboards, you are creating some amazing reports, they will need more and more. And maybe others departments.
It's almost like it's hard to get it started, but once you give them there, then they get hungry for more and more and more.
Exactly, they are hungry, and so you have to build your team. We have the data visualization part, so you can hire a reporting manager for the data visualization. So I'm not talking.
Who do you use for that, Nicolas?
Sorry,
who do you use? What provider?
We are using, I'm not limit my team to some providers, but you can use some by Microsoft Power BI. You can use
Power BI, okay.
Power BI, yeah. You can use maybe other tool, but I am open. As you know, I'm an engineer. I'm a data scientist.
You said that quite a few times to me now. You always keep your mind open.
Exactly.
We more than one.
If you want to innovate, you should be open-minded. As an open-minded leadership, and you have not to select one tool, because innovation is coming to create yourself, your algorithm. So that's my roadmap, is that to not limit something, but to use also open source tools. So everything is possible. So yes, we have the official, some official tools to use. But I'm also in my roadmap for the analytics and for everything. I'm looking for the future. I'm looking, okay, what will be happen? What is needed for the 6 months, 1 year? What is the need? No one can predict truly what will be happen, of course.
Yeah.
But we have to follow the trends. What is the trend of the future?
One eye on the present and one eye on the future.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
That's a hard balance, right? To focus on the here and now, but then making sure that you're staying up to date with current events, current technologies and platforms. How do you maintain that balance between becoming just a reporting function as opposed to strategic? Because you don't want to just become a reporting function, because you also want to look forward rather than just in the past or in the present. How do you maintain that balance in your team?
So it's a very good question, and it's important that in each project, in each because as I said, we have long-term projects and we have short-term projects. It depends on my team, one of my team reporting manager, for example, if it's passionate about a strategic point, she can do some, it's a long-term project. Once finished, he can do a short-term project in order to see what I would like that them to not to be a very expert in one domain. They
should. So you like the fact that they work on different projects and
exactly, exactly. What I would like is that each member of my team can deal with one particular data, so talent, onboarding, acquisition, etc.
Work across multiple, so one set of data, but long-term, short-term.
Exactly. And of course, you maybe one time you need to work with some kind of data, so you can be expert in this domain, but it's better to see all others tool. Of course, what I said, you ask me what tool you are using, but I'm not if someone in my team that say, okay, I like to use this tool, I said, okay, use it. You are not limited because we are a research and development department.
But what about cost though, Nicolas? They cost money, right? Each of these tools.
But it depends. It depends. It's open source. It's open source. It's very.
Okay, it's open source.
But no. But when you need budget, if you want to innovate, if you want to put innovation to do the research and development, you need, of course, to buy some license. It's a key, and we have to explain to the leadership.
Clearly, you've demonstrated the value in the business, so they can do that. What does the relationship look like between you and the HR team? How often do you communicate?
We are communicating every day. Every day in all projects. We are truly working hand to hand with them, and we have a very positive and very good relationship with all of them in the organization.
What advice would you give to your peers of how to build and maintain a good relationship with the HR executive, the HR team?
It's key for this people analytics team. If you want to, to deliver and to be implicated to other projects, research and exciting project, you should have a good relationship with all of them, because they are your clients. You are not the owner of data. You are just work. This is the showcase. What I said to everyone, this people analytics is the showcase of your HR data. If there is an issue, you are not responsible, but you have to help them to solve it. So that's why this is the key department in any HR organization. And you should, to succeed for the future and for the current situation, you should have a very good relationship with all of the key department. And I'm sure that in any organization, they are keen to work and to help you.
Something that interested me in our first conversation, which I didn't expect from you, was that you said to me, we need to focus on soft skills in a digital world. Coming from someone in people analytics, that shocked me a little bit. So why is it so important?
Because, the soft skills is something that is key for the future. Due to this pandemic, as I said, for this job dating platform that I said in the beginning, the communication part is very important. If you hire someone, they should have communicate well, of course, okay, to have this communication and not to have only the skills of data skills, but the communication is really, but you can have these skills, HR data, but you are behind the scene, and you are not communicating with all this HR, and it's key for this pandemic situation to have more and more. These soft skills will be very important, and CV screening is not answering very well to this question.
Yeah. How do you track that, right? How do you, because from the technical skills, you can screen that on a CV, but how do you track if someone has empathy?
Exactly.
Like
that.
If there's anyone got any solutions out there, let us know.
Yeah, maybe with this video interview, that maybe
actually, yes, facial expressions in the future. I'm sure you can. Like micro expressions. You can see if someone has
sentiment analysis. Yes, sentiment analysis algorithm that we can detect it in your face. How you answer. Yeah, your empathy, but it's not in the CV, and it's coming with face-to-face work or maybe by email.
Well, that's going to be even more important now. We're not meeting face-to-face as much. Because typically you can have that interview and you can feel that, when I interview people face to face, you can, during the interaction, you can feel that, but on a video call, maybe it'd be a lot more difficult.
Correct. And that's something that is AI can help maybe for the future.
AI here to save the day again.
Yeah.
To do it. Yeah, it's a super exciting time to be in people analytics, Nicolas, right? I'm sure anyone I speak to, very busy.
Very busy.
But very exciting as well. Look, before we wrap up, if there's sort of one parting piece of advice you would give to anyone that's on this people analytics journey, what would that be? And then where can people connect with you if they want to say hello and reach out to you?
Yeah. So for one advice that I would like to HR leaders that they are listening to us, it was put people analytics team in your organization, and you will see they add value very shortly, and put the roadmap internally. Okay, it's very important that you hire someone for this people analytics. It will be the core for your organization and to manage this HR data. And it's very key. So I know that there is many new 21 HR jobs that it will be created for the coming years, that research predict that, but people analytics should be one of them, and is really there, but it's really there for the future. And you can connect with me by LinkedIn if you want to be connected. And I'm sharing new news and new trends about people analytics.
Fantastic.
Daily.
Well, look, Nicolas, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm glad we managed to get you on the show this time. So I appreciate you taking the time out to join us, and hopefully we get to see you face to face soon.
I hope so.
You're not too far away, so I'll try and come and say hi soon. But if you're in London, just let me know. But apart from that, I really appreciate you joining us. And for everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a good Monday. whether you're just starting the day or just ending your day, thanks for being with us. If you like the show, please like, comment, share, so we can share our knowledge and experience. And apart from that, I'll let you go, Nicolas, and I look forward to seeing everyone else tomorrow and seeing you again soon, Nicolas. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.